At 22, Elise Haywood felt she had finally come into her own. She had a promising job as a junior marketing executive in a rising eco-beauty company. Her social circle was warm and supportive, a mix of childhood friends and new companions from work. Her studio apartment in the heart of the city was cozy but well-lit, decorated with plants and secondhand art pieces that whispered personality. Life wasn't perfect, but it was hers. One of her most celebrated features was her hair. Long, naturally curly and golden blonde, it fell in soft coils down to the small of her back. People noticed it everywhere, on subways, in meetings, even at cafes. It framed her soft, freckled face like a sunburst, making her green eyes pop and giving her an ethereal presence. She had taken care of it meticulously. Deep conditioning treatments every Sunday, silk pillowcases, sulfate-free shampoos. It wasn't vanity. It was a ritual. Her hair was part of her identity, her softness, her brightness. Her boyfriend Luca was a hairdresser, a good one. He had his own sleek boutique salon in the city, a place with chrome edges, spotless mirrors, and the scent of expensive products always lingering in the air. He dressed sharply, spoke with the polish of someone used to being admired, and wielded scissors like an artist. They had met when Elise went in for a routine trim, and he had charmed her with quiet confidence. Over time, he cut not just her hair, but the hair of her friends too. Most of them admired his skill, and often joked that Luca was like the curator of their image. But there was a side of Luca that Elise had gradually become aware of, one that she couldn't always place. He liked control. Not in the overt, aggressive sense, but in subtle choices. Where they went, what she wore to events, what kind of shoes looked right, and increasingly what her hair should be. He loved cutting it. Not just trimming, but changing, sculpting. He'd occasionally sigh as he looked at her hair in the mirror, brushing it out with long, patient strokes before tying the cape around her neck. A black PVC barber cape, sleek and shiny, was always his go-to. He loved how it looked under the light, the way it framed the person sitting in the chair. He said it made the subject part of the art. "Elise," he had told her once, standing behind her in the mirror, his fingers toying with a section of her golden curls. "You would look divine with a buzz cut." She laughed at the time. "I'd look like a plucked apricot." He didn't laugh. "Number, you'd look bold, powerful. Imagine, nothing but skin, light bouncing off your scalp. Your face would shine like sculpture." She shook her head. "I want it shorter, sure. Maybe shoulder length next time, but not bald." He didn't press the issue that day, but from then on it lingered, like perfume in the air after someone's left the room. Elise did cut it shorter, curls bouncing just above her shoulders. She liked the lighter feel, the way her neck felt breezy. Luca approved somewhat, but he'd still suggest, "A little more?" Each time. One evening, over dinner at a rooftop bar with friends, one of the girls brought up hair color. "I'm going copper next week," said Jasmine, fingering her dark bob. "Change is good." Elise smiled. "I've been curious about red, actually. Like a rich, fiery red." Luca raised an eyebrow. "Red's bold. Not everyone can pull it off." "You don't think I can?" she teased. "I think your natural blonde is—" He paused, searching for a word. "Sacred." "But I want to try it," she said. "Just for once." There was a long silence, then he shrugged. "If you want, I can do it." Saturday came with gray skies and a stillness in the air. Elise sat in Luca's chair at the salon. The space was empty except for the two of them. His assistants had taken the day off. He walked behind her silently, draping the black PVC barber cape around her and fastening it snugly at the neck. It gleamed like patent leather in the overhead lights, sleek and dramatic. She felt a little thrill, like she always did when transformation was about to begin. "You're sure?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes, I want this." The dyeing process began. Her golden strands were divided, painted with careful brushstrokes of deep auburn, then wrapped. For almost an hour, she sat like a painting in progress, The final rinse left her staring at her new reflection, curls now tinted with a rich crimson glow, dancing with fire when they caught the light. "I love it," she said. Luca's face was unreadable. "It's intense. That's the point. You don't look like you anymore. I feel like me, just braver." But he didn't smile. In the days that followed, he barely touched her hair. No gentle brushing, no idle playing with strands while watching movies. Elise started to notice his eyes scanning her face like she was incomplete. One night, they were walking home when he stopped in the middle of the sidewalk. "Elise, I don't think this is working." Her heart pounded. "What?" "Your hair. United States. It's like you're becoming someone else." She stared. "Because I dyed my hair?" "It's more than that. You don't trust my vision for you. It's my hair, Luca, not your sculpture." He didn't argue. He just said, "Then come in tomorrow. Let me make things right." The ultimatum. She arrived at the salon the next day feeling uneasy. He met her at the door, took her hand, and guided her to the chair. Wordlessly, he pulled out a purple PVC barber cape this time, one he had never used on her before. She looked at it. "That's new. Special for you," he said quietly and tied it around her neck. It was cool and stiff, hugging her body, the deep violet catching flecks of light like polished glass. She swallowed. "Just a trim?" He met her eyes in the mirror. "Elise, I need this. You need this." "What do you mean?" "I want you to let go. Of all of it. The dye, the control, the weight. I want you bald, clean, start fresh, with me." She stiffened. "Number I told you before, I don't want that." He reached out, placed his hand gently on top of her red curls. "Please, trust me." Tears welled in her eyes. "Luca, this isn't about trust. It's about who I am." He didn't say anything. Instead, he picked up the clippers from the counter. The sound burst to life. Sharp, loud, final. "No," she whispered. He paused. But then she saw the steel in his eyes. Not violent, not angry, just immovable. A sob caught in her throat. She had loved him, trusted him, believed in the artistry of what he did. And yet now she felt like a canvas about to be erased. Her hands trembled under the cape. She didn't move. And then, the clippers touched her temple. The headshave. The first pass was brutal, not in force, but in consequence. The teeth of the clippers slid against her scalp, red curls tumbling in slow motion, caught by the wide purple expanse of the PVC cape. The buzzing echoed in her ears as hair fell in thick waves. Her breath hitched. The second pass moved just above her ear. Another swath of red vanished. Her cheekbones, now more visible, looked foreign. She cried. Silent, hot tears rolled down her cheeks as Luca methodically worked. He was gentle, always gentle, but his precision felt cold, unrelenting. Curls slipped down the cape, some caught at the neck, some drifting to the floor. Her lap became a nest of crimson strands, glistening like fallen leaves. Luca paused once, wiping a tear from her cheek with the edge of his thumb. "You're beautiful," he said softly. She couldn't answer. Her throat was tight with grief. He adjusted the angle, then began clearing the crown of her head. The final remnants of her identity tumbled away as her scalp appeared, pale, untouched by sun, impossibly smooth. When he finished with the clippers, she looked like someone else. Someone vulnerable. Raw. But it wasn't over. He reached for the hot towel, wrapped it gently around her bare scalp. Her body shuddered. Then came the lather. Warm shaving cream spread with a brush across her head, thick and foamy. The razor followed, each stroke slow, deliberate. Skin emerged with every pass, pink and glistening. When he was done, he wiped her clean and stepped back. She stared at herself in the mirror. A bald woman. Shining. Sculptural. Her features were no longer framed but exposed. Her eyes, rimmed with tears, looked larger. Her neck, longer. Her freckles now seemed to float on a canvas of moonlight skin. The purple cape still glistened, a stark contrast to her bare scalp. She didn't recognize herself. She didn't know what to feel. After. He untied the cape. It slid off with a rustle. Curls rained down onto the floor. Elise stood up slowly, hands rising to her scalp. Smooth, cold, foreign. Luca looked at her with something like awe. But Elise didn't look back at him. She walked out of the salon in silence, red curls sticking to her shoes. Her friends were shocked. Some cried with her. Others were angry. Jasmine screamed. But Elise slowly found herself adjusting. Her morning routine simplified. Her face felt more honest in the mirror. And she didn't go back to Luca. She kept her head bald for several weeks. Then let the hair grow in. Soft fuzz first, then baby waves. She eventually dyed it back to blonde. But she never let anyone else touch it again. The purple cape? She never saw it again. But she remembered it. Cold and shiny, like the moment her world changed. And with time, she realized she had become someone new. Not because of Luca. Not because of the shave. But because she had lived through it and reclaimed herself afterward.